Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Roll-Wise Show, the place where we talk about and play games. Today we're going to be doing the latter, playing a game, or at least continuing a game, of Forbidden Lands. This is our second session of actually playing the game, and I hope we've learned quite a bit over the little bit that we've played so far about how the game rolls. But we are going to be joining our heroes, let's call them. They're heroes, sure. Our players, Quirkus, or your characters. We have Jeff, who will be playing Quirkus, and
our
Brett, who will be playing
homeless woodland wanderers. Really, is what our characters are, to be more apt.
Yeah, apparently we're trying to find a location to build our perfect stronghold.
A place to call your own, right? That's what everybody wants. Home sweet home. Just put the little plaque above the door. Hire apparently a retinue of guards.
We're looking for a place to put our trash bags.
Mm-hmm. Put your roots in or something.
Both of them. 2 trash bags.
Okay. So, when we last left, we're going to kind of pull the scene out a little bit just to kind of recap, and I'm going to add some additional details that were rolled between sessions. All right. And so as you guys had exited the Fang, wait, what was it called? The Fangwoods?
I thought.
Yeah. As you guys had exited the Fangwoods, you'd had purpose in mind. Not only had Quirkus Grum had at least known about this area, spending most of his time actually in the Fangwoods. It had been a passing curiosity. Jeff being of the more...
We came here because of Jeff's character. Jeff's character wanted to explore.
Scholarly curiosity. Would that be a fair way to put it, Jeff? Scholarly curiosity?
That's fair.
You kind of came to investigate the keep. The keep is, it sits on a low hill. The stone itself is not... the more you look at the stone and the kind of closer you get, the more it kind of looks just a little bit wrong for anything that you're aware of. The stone itself is too dark. It's like ruddy red, almost like old blood. And this is something that really you can see through or places where the moss hasn't taken hold. The outer wall, like I said, it had collapsed into rubble. And what really kind of drew your eyes as you kind of like approached this old kind of worn down keep, what was in the courtyard and what's kind of been left in it. So the first thing that was very obvious is that you saw that there were some fresh carcasses. The carcasses themselves were stripped of meat. This is the summer, so you saw nice summer flies kind of buzzing about and all those kind of things. They don't look like old kills to you, even at a distance. You can see that the keep itself, it has had some makeshift additions, one could say, that give it a certain sense of inhabited. Like the walls have things that have been stretched across for cover and shade, and stuff like that just give you a sense that it's not as maybe as abandoned or ruined as it may look at first glance. And also, definitely, Grum, that you notice that this it doesn't seem as though it doesn't have the sounds of life that you normally get when you're kind of wandering through the woods or anything like that. It seems like whatever is here kind of causes the forest and the creatures just outside of it to give it a little bit of a birth. As you kind of scan around, though, the one thing outside the keep that's definitely catches your eye, and this is something that Quirkus notices, is that you do see a Rowan tree. Kind of looks like a solitary tree, and you can't tell that if this is something that is was planted or something that's just it's there. But the Rowan tree looks mostly dead, and you can see something that looks like it might be hanging from it. And that's a little bit outside the keep, down what is an actual road that goes to a keep. Not maintained road, but an actual pathway that looks like it goes to and from the keep.
So we know
what do you do?
We can tell the keep is occupied, is what you're saying.
It has the look of occupation, although you do not see the occupants or occupant.
We don't see any smoke or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
Is there any evidence it's people or is it an animal?
Okay. So Quirkus, how do you investigate to see if you can tell what kind of occupants there are? Are you like scouting around the keep, or what are you doing?
I think we'd approach it slowly, especially with looking like something's hanging on one of the trees that's on the approach. Maybe that would be the first thing we'd investigate. Right?
Okay.
Am I understanding the description right?
Yeah. So there's a road that comes up to the keep, and you can go up to the tree there and investigate what would be in the tree. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what
Okay.
we do first.
All right. And then after that, Grum, do you have a specific way that you would kind of investigate or scout?
Oh, we're looking for like animal tracks, animal sign, like things that indicate what's in the keep around the keep.
Okay.
We don't want to just wander in somewhere there could be a bear living in there for all we know.
I think I've already hit you with one too many owl bears in a building from the adventures we've run in the past. I don't know if I could do it again in good conscience.
Well, that's a little bit of a different situation than what we're in now.
That's true.
It's true. But it is funny that there is a surprising number of owl bears that exist within low level adventures in D&D. It's always a very strange thing. And how many times has Brent run into the owl bears in those situations?
I think only
Probably.
once that I can at least twice that I can think of. At least twice now that I think about it.
Yeah, there's at least two that come up to the top of my head. One in the Age of Worms, and of course one in the Fandelver stuff. So, spoiler alert for both of those adventure passes. There's definitely owl bears out there.
There are.
There be owl bears out there.
Okay. So as you approach the tree, it being a Rowan tree it's like normally during the summer, it would have berries and be doing its thing, Jeff. And as a druid and as an herbalist, you know that this thing, if it is alive, it's barely clinging to life. The leaves are kind of
the tree or the thing in the tree.
The tree itself.
That seems strange to me because they're usually hardy trees.
Mm-hmm. And so as you kind of also approach, you notice that there's a little bit of just whatever is afflicting.
Only tree?
It's the only tree.
There's no other trees near the keep.
No, all the trees are by. It looks like it had been purposefully cleared. Whatever this had been placed by kind of on its own.
So that's also a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
No, they probably cleared it for line of sights when the thing was built.
But it means somebody planted this tree intentionally here.
Mm-hmm. Or they left it. Yeah, they could have. Rowans supposedly have meaning. I mean, it could be wild, but it could have been planted. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So what's in the tree as we get closer?
You basically, when you get to the tree, you see that an iron figure has been kind of harshly nailed to it. This type of idol that seems to be there. The first thing that jumps to you both, because it's not uncommon for this, is that this idol would have been the work of the Rust Brothers. The Rust Brothers being kind of an organization of adherents to the gods, that persisted throughout the Blood Mist and kind of were one of the main powers within the Blood Mist. The easiest way to describe it is that it's kind of a religion that for whatever reason, they were allowed to travel through the Blood Mists unhindered. So they allowed people in the Forbidden Lands to travel. They were able to communicate and create a network and all that kind of stuff. But they're not really a very nice religion by most people's standards. One could say that ideologically, there's a lot of beef between them and some of the other gods, like the Raven god and all that stuff. And they pretty much murder Raven adherents on sight, kind of thing. So they're not nice people by any means, but because of their history within the Ravenlands, are quite a powerful and large organization that tends to go around to villages asking for tithes and getting people like pressed into service and all that kind of stuff. And I'm only giving you the like most surface level version of the Rust
Sure.
Brothers here. They're a very fascinating component of the Forbidden Lands that have been around for quite some time and have some very creepy, deep ties to stuff.
And this symbol of theirs appears to be nailed to the Rowan tree.
Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, it seems like the symbol itself, the idol itself, seems to have precipitated even like almost seems like it poisoned the tree in its christening.
I am going to try to work with my knife to pull this off.
Okay. So as a heads up, if it is a symbol that is
It's human sized, right?
Not human sized. I would say it's probably about 2 feet tall. It's fairly large, but it's kind of like an amalgamation of things put together to form an idol.
Of like, you said it's made of iron?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can stand on the side of the road, but if I believe that it's killing the tree,
I'm more concerned about it falling on you because it's really heavy if it's made of iron.
First OSR death, trying to remove a decoration.
I mean, that's what I'm worried about is that it's.
Yeah, I'm not going to
heavy.
stand under it and pull it towards me. I'm going to try and, stand to the side and work it off without damaging the tree. If I can.
Suggest he not take it down, but I don't stop him if he decides to do it anyways.
Okay. So, Jeff, are you set on kind of removing it?
Would I know that there are severe consequences? Like, I'm not going to melt it down, but like I said, I can sit by the side of the road and people are still aware that the Rust Brothers have been here.
Well, it's kind of the consequences is basically is that if this is it's hard to say if this is a recent thing or not. You don't know how that iron kind of leached into the wood. You don't know what, there's not really any easy way to tell the duration of how long it's been there. But if this is in any way tied to the Rust Brothers and it's a place that they've been or frequented or claimed and they return back, that would obviously be that would draw their attention and possibly their ire because of their sacrilege
and it's obviously marked by them, so we should probably just leave.
You mean head into the keep?
No, I mean go to the town.
Well, the town is several days travel away.
Yeah, but it's safer than fighting any Rust Brothers that may be staying here or come back. They've marked the keep as theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they marked the tree as theirs.
And we know, no, they marked the keep as theirs, and we know for a fact there's something inside. So
it does look like there's enough activity that something has been here. I agree. I appreciate that you've pointed that out.
So the one thing that I would say you notice is that at least the inspection of the road doesn't seem to show a lot of fresh prints. So it doesn't seem as though whatever's in the keep patrols down the road very often.
So did you just say we don't see the fresh prints?
He also said whatever's in the keep doesn't patrol the road. So there is something in the keep. So what I suggest is we leave. I'm not going in the keep. I think we should keep traveling.
We can. There's a dungeon nearby if you'd rather look at that, or a cave system nearby.
If there's not a Rust Brother living inside, sure.
So we'll avoid the potential bunch of fanatics. Would the Rust Brothers, like if we, okay, so you believe that we have some knowledge of their worshippers or followers?
Yeah, I mean they're not like some boogeymen or something like that. They exist, like even in the hollows.
Like if we came across a camp of them, if we came over, creepy and weird and strange.
Would they normally just like press gang you in, or if you didn't do anything to offend them, they would, preach at you, but then let you go on your way?
So if you guys had visited the Hollows, you know that there's a Rust Brother there who, on the surface very much follows their adherents, but isn't a nuisance or anything like that to the town. Mostly just serves as a liaison for them to collect tributes and all of those types of things. It's just one of those things where like the theology of the Rust Brothers and the adherence to that gets worse the higher the individual is within the hierarchy of the church. So the like low level adherents tend to be normal-ish,
and a Rust Brother out here in the wilds is going to be different than one that lives in a town.
It's true, and it really
probably.
depends because like I said, depending on where they are in the hierarchy, depending what their purpose is, like if they're out gathering tributes, they're obviously going to be far more menacing than a person's just like chilling. And then of course, there's also a specific military branch of the Rust Brothers,
right.
and those people are much more dangerous on the surface. Outside of that,
all right. Let's move to I-24 and head towards that cave.
I-24. Let's see.
Yeah, so we're moving away from the keep that you designed and worked on over the week, and we're going to the cave instead.
The good news is I didn't work that hard on it because I was going to leave it open.
Well, you did say you fleshed it out a little, so
I did leave it open. I did flesh it out a little bit so that if you did happen to go inside, I wasn't scratching my head the entire time. So
I'm just saying. But yeah, we're leaving here because I do not think fighting a Rust Brother is a good idea, and I don't think they're going to like us going into their keep going, hey, we're looking for junk to sell. Or...
Well, it's kind of a junk keep. It isn't like it's a sterling, you know what I mean? Like,
but they have
not
found
the high level guys here.
They have found something valuable enough to market as theirs. You can check it out if you want, but I'm not going inside.
I mean, you guys can scout the perimeter, see what else you can see there. I mean, it's up to you.
I go back to where we camped. That's what I do. If Jeff would like to continue scouting, he can.
Yeah, no, if he's going to leave me alone, then we'll head towards the cave system.
What? Splitting the party. Does this, so with that, does that mean, so what it implies that you're going to do is go back into the Fang Woods, and
yes.
You said you're going to what?
24, it looks like, if I'm reading the map right.
24. Okay.
If the map is north and south, like if it's perfectly north, south, east, and west, then it's southwest of the hex that we're in.
Yeah, we have 2 hexes we need to travel to the cave, right? That's the one that you're talking about?
We're going to go southwest to I-24 and then northwest-ish to H-23, I guess. Wherever the cave is on the map. Yeah, we've got to do it twice, so it's going to take essentially 2 days.
What we probably did is we probably go back to where we camped.
Right, but that's the one, it's labeled on the map as Heigold Keep, so we would go down into the left and then up into the left for the second hex.
Mm-hmm. So you'd have hike, you had hike and explore in that day.
Right, but it feels like we explored around the keep for one of our quarter days.
Mm-hmm. So would you take another?
So we hiked, and I led the first quarter. Then we hiked and explored the second quarter. Now we're hiking, and I'm leading the third quarter, which we're running into a problem because we have to set up camp.
Well, so here's what I kind of perceive it as, is that the one hike gets you to the keep kind of nebulously, right? Then the explore action is what you took to kind of like search around the keep, kind of do a little investigation, see what it was, kick the tires a little bit. You said, I don't know about this. And so now the question is that if you want, you could, like, from a game perspective, since you're not really planning on leaving the hex, you're just planning on making camp, is that then you could find, can you make camp? And the question is can you, then you would roll your camp stuff, and then that would establish if you found like a safe place to have a camp and all those kind of things. I feel like that's easier than trying to mechanically, like, because you do them, because I'm not going to do the math. Let's just say, like, how many, because 6 kilometers in a hex, and like you went from one corner of the hex to the next. Like, I don't feel like doing.
Can we get far enough away from the keep within the hex to where I don't feel like it's a danger?
Yeah, I mean, you could, like, because you didn't explore, like you did. I don't personally feel like you explored 6 hours. You kind of just like looked at the keep. You saw the ruddy stones. You saw a tree. You both looked at an idol. You both said,
Well, I don't.
But I mean, we did mechanically, because that's all we have. Is you only you can't split the time. You can't split the time. We already argued about that last time.
but I would say, but in my worldview, I'm not going to force you to like basically camp on the edge of the keep if you'd want to go into the woods just a tiny bit, kind of get away from it.
Yeah, we're gonna get as far away from the keep as we can without actually traveling.
Yeah, I think I'm just misunderstanding the time because I thought we camped near the keep and we're in the same hex as part of the keep.
We camped in a different hex than the keep. We had to travel to get to the keep. We actually did a morning travel to get to the keep.
We should have rolled then for that, right? I thought we were starting off a fresh day today.
I spent a willpower to where I didn't have to roll for it.
Oh, you spent a willpower. Okay,
yeah,
so we've used
a willpower.
Half of the day. We have
correct. We have 2 actions left, which is camp and sleep,
or hike and sleep.
Or hike and sleep, and then what happens if we sleep?
Yeah, you just kind of, when you hike and sleep, you just kind of find a place and then lay down and go to bed.
What happens if we don't prepare a camp?
Okay. So if your roll fails, a camp is less pleasant. I mean, so hypothetically, there's a chance that there would be a mishap of some kind, and they call them mishaps, and I don't want that to say that, but it's basically it would be like
I mean, not hypothetically. You're saying if we can't,
if we slept, ideal.
If we slept without camping, we have a risk of having a mishap.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just because like you're not taking the time to prepare the area that you go. You're just kind of putting your head down on the ground, and you could be putting it in a pile of ants.
So if we want to travel away from the hex, we can just do that in sleep and then risk a mishap.
We could, but I mean, we wouldn't even walk around the keep because we were afraid that the boogeyman might come out. But how risk averse are we being?
He said we could get far enough away from the keep to where we'd feel safe without traveling.
Yeah, because basically,
but then we'd be using the make camp action and then sleep.
Then we would make camp and sleep. Yes.
Yeah, because my thought process is that you're making a survivor roll, and since you're doing a 6-hour period to make camp, I would assume that during that period, your survivor roll would allow you to
do that. Let's
judge distances.
Let's just do that.
So yeah, we're going to travel as far away without traveling, and then we'll camp and sleep.
Yeah, but we're essentially in the same hex, so
yeah. And then you can use the guy, whatever's in the keep, to kill us while we're sleeping.
All right. All right. So the first thing we need to do is roll a survival check. I don't actually have Discord open. Good job, Mike. And so those of you that are watching at home, we use Discord for our dice rolls.
Do we both have to make survival checks?
Well, you're going to do the survival check, and I'm going to do the chef check.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So you would do the survival roll to modified by the quartermaster talent. If your roll succeeds, there it is. So it's usually, it looks like just one person makes that roll.
Yeah, Brent's gonna make that roll, and I'll make food with the.
And that's base plus survival, right? So base is wits 3, and then survival 3.
Mm-hmm. And then if you have a quartermaster talent, of course, you'd add that bonus to it as well.
No, of course not.
This game wants you to have a plethora of talents, is all I'm saying.
I failed. We're going to go ahead and push that, I guess. Nope, failed. Or I did succeed, but I got a Bane too. But a Bane only matters if you fail, right? Or no, Bane matters if you push the roll. So I got a bad result with my success.
Okay, so before you push it, let's just make sure let's just make sure you're aware of what that means. So in the game, when you roll your dice, if you roll a Bane on your first roll, nothing happens. On your second roll, if you do have any Banes that are up, because you can't re-roll Banes, you would keep that Bane and it would turn into some sort of damage. Now, the damage itself, in this case, because you're using your survival roll, which is your wits, that would be a damage to your wits attribute. So that would be a tick that goes in there and reduces your wits rolls until that damage.
Get wits back?
How do you recover?
Mm-hmm. Because I might knowing if it changes what I know, because I wasn't sure, I will say that I didn't push the roll. and we just failed.
But you know what? This is good stuff. So when you rest by campfire, it's a good opportunity to recover from your damage. Recovery is on page 108. Oops. And on recovery, the fastest way from recover for being broken is for someone else to treat you by rolling a healing for strength or agility, or performance for wits and empathy. This is a slow action but cannot be performed with an enemy at arm's length. If the roll is successful, you immediately recover a number of points in the broken attribute equal to the number of hits rolled, so the number of crossed swords rolled. Further rolls have no effect, and the same person can try only once. If no one helps you with 1d6 hours, blah, 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 blah. But once you're back on your feet, you'll recover all remaining lost attribute points by resting or sleeping for a quarter day.
So
this assumes.
So I can only get it back when I'm broken?
No. It's just saying is that if you're broken, you can only be treated for that. I'm sorry, I read the section preceding it. But when you're back on your feet, which is what you are, you will recover all your remaining lost attribute points by resting or sleeping for a quarter day.
Oh, okay.
This assumes that you are not hungry, thirsty, or suffering from another condition that blocks recovery.
So I'll get that point back when I sleep tonight.
Correct. Which is, it's kind of I think the only way that would really be super meaningful is if you had an encounter that took the place of your rest, or something that harried you and you couldn't sleep, or something like, you know what I'm saying? Because it feels like making camp, you would just be able to recover the stress from making camp.
Well, that's the plan.
Anytime. No, so that's an interesting.
I'm missing that right now, but I'll get it back. So I succeeded in setting up camp, but I bumped my head on a tree branch while I was
okay.
While I was laying out our bedrolls.
Okay. So it basically you bonked your head embarrassingly enough that you caused yourself.
No, it stunned me. I got all dizzy because I hit my head.
Yeah.
Hey, a chef 6 units of food.
That's not what you roll.
It is.
Yeah, I think you have. I don't think you have much more food than that.
Oh, you don't roll. You don't roll a skill.
You don't roll a skill.
Huh.
Well, the skill was acquiring the food. The chef determines how much of the food.
I can turn up to D6 units of vegetables, meat, or fish into food. How many units of food did he have last time? Maybe I didn't need to chef this time.
You didn't need to chef this time. We had 4 units of. We had 4 units of meat and 4 units of vegetables, if I remember right.
Okay, so honestly, while you were setting up camp, I should have just slept. Although we still wouldn't have had somebody doing a watch. Yeah,
it's fine. You can turn whatever we had. I mean, yeah, because we didn't. I don't think we had any raw goods anymore. We just had the units of food, if I remember right.
Yeah, I was assuming there was still a little bit of meat left over that was still not spoiled yet.
Because no, I think you turned all of it into.
I may have turned all of it in the last time. So yeah, there's no reason for me to cook. I don't honestly know what I would do.
So while I was setting up camp, you probably kept watch, and then we sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you could do that.
Okay, I'll keep watch.
Okay.
And then we roll for food and water.
Yeah, we have to roll. Do I have to roll for keeping watch?
Well, no, because the only time that when you're keeping watch that you have to really roll for it is if there's an encounter of some kind.
Okay.
So, 1 second.
But we do have to roll food and water.
You do, yeah.
There's
so
food.
You guys.
When do we fail? 1 or 2?
1 or 2,
yes.
Yeah, and I'm on a D12 for food and a D8 for water.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I lost the water.
So it seems as though all the hiking and walking about and everything like that caused you to be extra thirsty, Brent. And so Grum noticed that his water skin felt noticeably lighter than he started.
I did not burn through any. I mean, I consumed food and water, but I got a 7 and an 8, so I'm good.
So
now Brent's D8 and water goes down to a D6, right?
Correct.
And if he busts off a D6, then he's out of water.
Correct. Yes. However, you guys can share resources. So how it works with sharing resources is the way that I interpreted it is that you give a step for them to gain a step. So if you have a D8 and he has no resources,
I can make him a D6 and me did a D6.
Correct.
Otherwise, we have to spend 6 hours foraging for water.
Yeah, you can.
Or he does.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll look for water in the morning.
A quarter day. I'm going to quit calling it 6 hours. A quarter day.
Yeah. Well, in the morning we'll do.
Okay, and then we'll we'll sleep with no watch and see how that goes.
Right. And then in the morning I'll search.
Okay.
We'll look for water, and I guess we'll both look for water. Maybe, I don't know. We can figure that out in the morning.
Okay. So you both rest 6 hours. 6 hours. I mean, the place that you've set up for a tent, not a tent, but a sleeping site, it's in the forest, someplace you both are very comfortable with. You feel very good. Jeff, you keeping watch, you notice that the forest feels rather normal. There's no indication or anything that there's really many other creatures in this area besides just natural wildlife and yourself. No like worm sign or anything like that. Now that I've seen the most recent Dune trailer, I'm sorry. Worm sign will be my new generic way of telling you what's happening. But yeah, so no worm sign or anything like that, kind of giving you both like kind of a sense of security. It's up to you whether or not you want to make a fire or anything, but going through your rations and everything. And just another point of clarification, it seems like rations and water, if they're actual quote unquote rations, they don't have like a shelf life or anything. So there's, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, these are rations from a week ago, therefore they're no longer
You mean
good
units
rations.
of food, right?
Yeah. Like your
Yeah,
consumables don't have like a
Once
shelf
we turn
life.
them into food cubes, the food cubes last.
Right. Meat,
a long
fish, and vegetables go rotten, but food does not.
Correct. Once it's prepared, it's been touched by a chef. It's been magically converted to
Yeah, that's what I understood
salt.
last time. That's what I
Okay,
understood
just want to
last
make
time.
sure. Okay.
What season are we in?
Summer. Midsummer, to be exact.
Summer. Okay. All right. I was just looking at forage. So does the night pass
Midsommar, like the horror
uneventfully
movie?
or
What? Sorry. No, Brent, not like, I mean, it could be the horror movie. You just haven't got to the horror part. But what, Jeff?
does the night pass uneventfully?
Yes. So, for you guys and everything like that, it seems like another night on the road. Do you guys have any rituals or anything that you do as travelers that go together? Do you have any stories that you share or kind of activities that you as travelers do? Like
I
do you
complain
whittle
about having to
wood?
look for water in the morning.
Okay.
The good news is if you find it, we can all fill up to a D12 worth of water.
So we both should look.
We can either both look or you can look and I'll help you. One or the other.
Yeah. We make a plan for foraging in the morning.
Yeah, we probably talk about the plan and heading towards the caves and talk and then
Okay.
turn in because we're only getting 6 hours of sleep and we don't want to have the tired modifier.
We function well off 6 hours of sleep. It's all we need.
Apparently.
All right.
It would be a nightmare if it was like, you need 2 quarters of sleep not to be tired. That would suck. Worse.
That would be that would be pretty funny, actually. I don't know. I think it would be funny.
It would be funny in the sense that it wouldn't be possible to do anything. Unless you were just tired all the time.
True.
Which would kill you eventually, as we discussed last time. It'd be slowly your character's going crazy from insomnia. I don't know, maybe that would be a more interesting game. Your character's slowly going insane from insomnia and then dying. Be more like Nightmare on Elm Street, the fantasy game.
I'd be curious to see how that would play because I feel like I haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street, but where the concept is scary to have something that gets you when you sleep because that's one of those like you can't not sleep very easily, right?
Well, you just go crazy eventually and die if you don't get enough sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like your brain dries out and you pass away. Your body eventually gives up. Yes, you need sleep. I'm surprised it's not a ration stat in this game.
I don't. Let's see. All right. So the morning you wake up, you've complained about the foraging of and the needs of getting more water.
I didn't complain. We made a plan to go look for water.
Yes.
Okay. And so now that the sun has come up, What is your plan for this morning? Are you both going to forage and or hunt, or are you both just going to forage?
He's going to forage, and I'm going to help him, because if we're both forage for water, we have to split up.
Yeah. I'm going to forage. He's going to help me. We're going to do that for water. That's the first quarter of the day.
Okay. Okay. So when you if you do something would be a group challenge. When you face a challenge with your fellow adventurers, you don't roll dice separately. Instead, you choose who among you is the best suited to take the challenge. You decide who it is. Others may help you. Oops. Stop it.
Which is survival plus wits, right?
1 second. Let me just read the modification part. This rule does not apply in combat. So modifications. Sometimes external factors help you survive. Modifications, you use skill dice.
Well, we already get a -1 looking for water in a dark forest. That's from the forage skill.
Okay. Other PCs or NPCs can help you succeed at a skill roll. This must be declared right away before you roll your dice. It also must make sense in the story. An individual helping must be physically present and have the capacity to support your action. For each person helping, you get +1 modification. No more than 3 people can help, and etc. So basically, Jeff would help you by giving you an extra base dice.
But then the modifier takes it away. So I at least helped you roll.
Let's see, because you're in the forage part, so I'm gonna do the forage for right. So we're gonna do this correct this time.
Yeah, no. If you look at forage, the table for forage for water,
it's a survival
is
roll,
-1.
Right?
Yeah.
So forage for water in the forest is +1.
We're in the dark forest, though. I thought
the parts of it are dark forest, but the edges are forest.
Oh, the edges are just forest. Oh, so then sorry. Mm-hmm. So Brent's going to get a
+1.
So
I get +2. So I get +2.
So +1 for being foraging,
and 1 for the
+1
forest.
for Jeff.
Okay,
and then
nice.
Your season is summer, so it's +0 for the foraging and everything like that. So, yeah.
What? Why did it do that?
I don't know.
You got 1 bane. Do you want to try again?
That's stupid.
The Forbidden Lands was like, you're looking for water, eh?
Dice roller messed up for some reason.
Yeah, you should have a bunch of dice.
Okay, no successes, 1 bane.
I'm not going to re-roll that. I'll just search for water tomorrow.
Yeah, you're not out, so.
Okay, so having this type of thing does result in a mishap.
Why? It's not. I didn't push the roll. The bane shouldn't matter.
When you fail, though, since in this case you didn't have a success, you would fail, and so it would have a mishap tied to it. Yeah, it says if your forage roll fails, you don't find any food or water, you suffer a mishap.
Okay.
So
let's find out what a mishap is.
So wait, is there no reason not to re-roll this then?
Well, so in this case, because you have the bane, if you re-roll it, you would then suffer damage to this. No, if you
actual damage,
you'd suffer damage. Where in
is
this
the
case,
mishap going to cause damage? Potentially?
Possibly. I mean, there are things that happen.
There's a big table.
Yeah, there's a table tied to it.
Okay,
Up
well,
to
I'll
you,
just leave
since it's affecting you.
Well, I'll wait. We'll see what happens, so we know for next time, I guess.
Yeah, no,
I have no idea. I have no idea. Like, if the option is damage or damage, like I might as well re-roll it.
Just take the damage. Then push
I might as well re-roll it and see if I get a success. If that's the option. If the option is something inconvenient happens or damage, I might just take something inconvenient. But if it's damage or damage, there's no reason not to push the roll.
No, so in this case, so
as a matter of fact, if I push this roll, I'll get willpower back if it's just damage or damage.
I mean those are up to you kind of things.
Feels like damage versus potential damage.
So according to my foraging mishap, I will tell you unless you push a roll. What are you going to do?
That's not really fair. Like you kind of need to know if it's because there's no point if it's just damage or damage.
But it's it's not always.
I say
it's not always damage. It's not always damage, right?
It's not always damage. No, it's
okay.
It's just 6.
That's what I need to know. What do I need to roll on the table?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've already rolled on the table for the mishap.
Okay.
So in this case, I rolled a 4, which is torn clothes. Your clothes are damaged. Something about your clothes breaks, like maybe you have your part of your robe snags on some sharp rocks or a branch. You must roll for the effects of cold, and your clothes can be mended by making a successful crafting roll. So probably out of these, the least, well,
I don't know. Do you have crafting, Brent?
I tore my well-sewn cloak. No, I don't. Of course not.
I have crafting. I have a 1 in crafting.
Oh, well, you can sell my cloak
but it's a
later.
Strength thing, and I only have a 2 in strength, so
you can try and sell my cloak later.
Yeah, that's gonna go wonderfully. It's gonna go great.
But that's the example of the mishap. So you don't find the water that you're looking for, but also at the same time, all that really happened is as you were winding through the woods looking for some sort of stream or some place to get potable water, you basically.
I'm thinking we got more frustrated as the 6 hours wore on and we didn't find water.
Correct. We just stepped over all the mud puddles and didn't find water.
Yeah, basically. So like I said, it's not always damage, but it's an inconvenience.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. All right.
But that kind of needs to be clear so we can know what we need to do.
But it could be crazy stuff too. I mean, I don't know all the results on the table.
But it could, but it might not be damage, is what I'm saying.
Correct.
Like that matters.
Yeah.
Because if it's stat damage versus stat damage, you might as well push the roll and take the stat damage.
Yeah. And truthfully, you could fail the roll without having a bane in it as well, right? Like you could just roll a bunch of 2 to 5s and not.
But if that happens, you would push the roll.
Most people would, yeah.
I mean, no, you would. There's no reason not to. If you fail without a bane, there's no reason not to. You risk getting a bane, but you don't know you have a bane, so. Okay. And it just goes away when you sleep, potentially. So
that's true. So are you going to lead the way and we'll move to the next hex?
Yep,
and I
will spend a willpower on lead the way, so I succeed. And we'll move to the next hex.
Okay. So moving through the forest, kind of a little bit of a rough start to your day. You're able to make your way through, and you eventually do make it into what would be considered the darker, the dark forest that we were talking about. So I'm assuming that you're basically traveling from the hex that you went to the cave hex that you have on there.
We can move 2 hexes when we hike, or 1.
You can move 2 when it's normal stuff, but dark forest is 1 hex.
So we can only move 1.
So we didn't get to the cave yet.
Yeah, we're still 1 short of the cave.
Because we foraged in the morning. We
didn't go anywhere yesterday.
We're going to have to camp, and we're going to have to
sleep. In fact, while you're making camp, I may forage for water.
That's all 4.
Yeah, I wonder, it didn't really mention like what happens if you're transitioning into like the dark forest and stuff.
I'm assuming it's impacted by this hex you're moving into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it feels to me like if either one of them is dark forest, that slows your progress considerably. But maybe it's just the ones you go into, not the ones you come from.
Well, you can't, because you can't move in the dark. Like you wouldn't be able to move out of your hex. If it costs 2 to move through the dark forest, you couldn't move into a hex that costs 2, if that makes sense.
I think I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, because basically, once you move away from the edge of the forest, you do enter into the dark forest, at least based on what this map seems.
So we could move 2, but then we'd have to use the you just fall asleep at the base of a tree or in a thicket or, something.
Correct. Yeah, we'd have to do that twice. We'd have to do that. But we could just camp here. And
we'll move 1 hex, and then Brent, you're going to make camp, and I'm going to forage for water.
Yep. Now I need to roll again for make camp, right?
Yes, and I get a -1 because now we're in dark forest, right? Mike,
do I get a -1 for making camp in a dark forest?
1 second.
No, that was specific to foraging water. Like hunting isn't impacted.
Foraging and hunting are both impacted by the terrain type, but the dark forest does not impact the camping part.
All right, so I
make a really good camp this time.
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, 3 6s for anybody that's at home.
Holy crap! So I just roll wits for forage. Oh, and survival.
Yeah, it's wits and survival. Yeah.
So that's a 6, but I get a -1. So I roll 5 dice. Okay. Okay, that didn't work at all.
That's what it did to me the first time.
Yep, 1d6. Do you want to push that d6? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
It wasn't Bane, so yeah, you should push it.
Just roll the amount of dice you're supposed to roll. Just to make it easier.
That's what I was trying to do.
You hit /roll, and then the thing comes up, and you have to click it.
I did. And then I tried to put in a 5.
It says that, and then you have to click the 10 options, and it should come up with
It's
one that
not
says
letting me
these.
click 10 options if I put something in 5.
No, you have to click
I
it
have
first.
to click base or skill.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
So my base is 4.
Right. And then you
And
click
then
it
I
again.
click 9 more and my skill is 1.
Yep.
Okay. That's how I screwed up.
I think that's what I did the first time, is I messed that up.
I had 1 success.
Well, the good news is that 1 success is still a success. So
and the Banes don't mean anything.
And so your water is now a D12, Brent. I took your water with me.
Cool.
Well, so
no, it's a D8. It goes up 1.
No, it goes up to 12 on the forage. If you look at the forage, a success means you find enough water to get to a D12 for the entire party.
If they like. That's interesting.
Yeah, if they like.
D12 back to D12 for water. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, it's wild.
That's fascinating that you just, well, I guess what they assume is that, like, if you find water that's actually drinkable and you can tell that it's drinkable, it's like you didn't just find a thimble of water. You found a water
You're
source.
refilling your stuff. I found a little stream.
It's so you don't have to forage every day and take up a quarter of your thing. That's why it's that way.
No, that makes sense. But
like,
yes,
that's why it was so confusing the first time when I thought we had to forage every day. That's why it was so confusing. Is because you're essentially like your 3 quarters your 4 quarters a day turns into 3 quarters if you have to forage every day. Mm-hmm. And then it turns into 2 quarters because you have to sleep 1. And then it turns into 1 quarter of travel because you have to set up camp. Maybe.
Okay.
So camp is set up. Yep, we're here.
Okay, now we have to roll for food and water, but they're both a D12 right now.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling food first and water second, if it matters.
Yep, food. Oops.
Just so I know which one to decrease if I have to.
Food.
I got
I'm excellent at eating this time.
Oops. Nice. Oh, I didn't put a space in. My second one didn't go.
Yep, I'm fine on both.
I'm fine on both. I got a 5 and a 6. Okay. And then we'll sleep.
Okay. Another fairly uneventful night. The cool breeze as it takes you through the forest is relaxing.
Fairly uneventful or actually uneventful?
Well, other than the occasional buzzing of an insect or something like that, uneventful, according to the dice.
So the next morning, we will travel the ones. It'll be 2 squares we have to use tomorrow, right? To travel, to hike and lead, right? To get to the
just
cave.
one.
Just a one because it's in the hex. So you basically hike to get to the hex, and then you.
But it essentially costs us 2.
It only costs us a quarter of a day to go 1 hex.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So when we get to there, we could only. That's a better way to look at it. So when we get there, and I'll spend the will to lead, so I'm successful, and then so we can get there, and then do we camp? And because we had a hard time moving through the woods, do we camp and then sleep, or do we want to explore and then sleep?
Well, we're going to get there in the first quarter of an hour, right? Because we don't have to forage or anything in the morning.
Well, yeah, but it costs us 2 quarters to get to the end of the thing.
No, it only costs us 1 quarter to get there.
Yeah, because you went from the keep hex. So your first hike yesterday was the get there.
I just asked that, and you said it was 2 quarters to get into the hex.
Oh, no, just 1.
Okay.
Because you guys are basically moving 1 hex a day with 1 hike.
We can explore and then camp and then sleep, right?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
So we're going to hike the cave, and we made it already because Brent can spend a willpower.
Okay. How many willpower do you have left, Brent, just out of curiosity?
2.
Okay.
Because I've rolled 3 or 4 bands so far.
Then we can explore the cave, I guess.
Yeah.
Or explore around the cave. I'm assuming the timing rules change when you go into a cave or a situation where things can get deadly, or no?
Okay, how do you mean?
I assume if it's interesting, we role play, and if it's not, we just explore, right? Like that's how this game works.
Yeah, so the explore action can be, I mean, it's kind of a broad-based explore action, and I think that's when gameplay slows down from like the 10,000 foot view and gets kind of more granular, in my opinion at least. Like, if nothing was interesting, you would just roll to say like, oh, there was nothing there. You just found some rocks. You kicked the rocks.
So do we have to roll something when we explore the cave?
Yeah, so we explore the cave.
It would depend on how the cave and everything like that works. So in terms of like the cave itself, it seems as though because Brent is far more well traveled through the Fangwoods Grum is more well traveled than the Fangwoods than Quercus is. Is that a safe assumption?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I live in the forest.
Mm-hmm. So the idea that that this cave is it's something that you're at least aware of. It seems like you passed through the forest quite a bit, but now you guys are actually exploring a little bit more closely the types of things that you see.
Well, yeah, I probably haven't gone in this cave because it might have something in it, so I'm not gonna venture into the cave alone. I'm only doing it because I have somebody with me.
Okay. So now that you're kind of going to this memorable landmark, you notice that the cave itself, some stuff that you hadn't noticed before, is that the kind of as the old growth forest of the dark woods and everything like that kind of spreads out. You notice that there's literally like a mound where the trees kind of grow on top of the mound and everything like that. But this is a fairly it's a fairly rough entrance that you see here. The thing that kind of draws you to it is that it seems like it's been pretty much overtaken by moss at this point, but Grum, you notice quickly that the moss, it seems like it has been, the best way to put it would be encouraged. So do you want to
so it looks like somebody grew the moss intentionally is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to give me a scouting roll to see what else you could possibly do there?
Might as well.
What is just a second scouting?
I think that's a scouting roll. Is that one of your skills?
Wits, yes, I have scouting. Wits and scouting. So it's 4 dice. Is he helping me? Do I get an extra dice because he's helping me?
Can I help on a scouting roll?
Or you could. I mean, it feels like I feel like if you guys wanted to help, you'd kind of like. I mean, you're not.
Yeah, I will help.
You're not a bumpkin,
a specific skill for it or a talent, right?
No, it's just a skill.
Oh, is it just a skill? Oh, it is. I don't have it.
And if you say, if you say you're helping, you're just kind of wandering around while I'm scouting.
Yeah, I'll give you a +1.
Success.
Nice.
Now, I should push that so I could get some willpower back. Is what I should do.
What? Do you have? You don't have a skull. Oh, so you're saying you're saying you want to take damage?
I'm saying there's a 1 in 6 chance that I could not. There's just as good a chance that I won't take damage.
Yeah, but you'd have to take the damage to get the willpower, right? So because the skull is what gives you the willpower as well as the damage.
You would have to take damage. That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I succeeded scouting roll. What do I see?
Okay. So let's see. So as you kind of make the you look at the approach and everything like that, what you can see is that it seems as though there's been a stone slab that's kind of been set into the hillside that's pretty much covered into the moss. You don't see any handle. No, it doesn't seem to have like any kind of frame. But the slab itself is about 4 to 5 feet, 4 feet wide, about 5 feet tall. And what you can see that it actually looks like it operates on a pivot. The stone probably would crush you if it fell on you. So somebody had to work very hard to get it in here. But now that it's in here, it looks like it's acting like it's on some sort of hinge.
So someone made a door for the cave, is what you're saying.
They did. And from your scouting roll, what you can tell is that you see that the ground itself is fairly worn. You can see kind of like the moss shows that there's compression that is going out in many different directions. But it indicates that somebody, from your experience, kind of as a woodsman, is that there are people living here, but they tend not to take the same way twice as to minimize their impact on nature. Your keen eye was able to kind of pick that out. And so from what you're experiencing right now, pretty much what they're hoping for is that the concealment is allowing them to kind of keep this place a little bit a little bit more concealed and all that kind of stuff.
So am I doing this sneaky, or do I have to roll a sneaky for that?
Oh, you don't have to roll a sneaky unless you're attempting to sneak. You're not sneaking. This is just what you're experiencing just from like kind of scouting, like looking at the area and kind of trying to get an impression of what's happening here.
Well, I don't want them to know I'm here.
Okay.
So what I did was I probably went up, like, kind of looked around the place, and then went back and told him that all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, you think anybody's in there right now? Should we open it up and find out?
I mean, do you want to knock first? They could be. They're pretty careful with nature. They might be fancy people, forest people like you.
We can try and knock. We're not here to, murder anybody, so.
I mean,
just exploring the cave.
What would be? I mean, it's somebody's house.
We should call out. Hello, the hidden moss door in the cave.
I mean, it's somebody's house, so we're probably not going to explore the cave. Okay, hi, we'd like to come in and look at your furniture.
Are you guys here to sell a vacuum?
I mean, that's sort of where it's. That's what I say. It's somebody's house. Do you want to say hi to the people that live there or not?
Yeah, let's try.
Okay, so I let you call out to the people.
Yeah. Hello, we see your hidden door in the cave. We'd like to talk.
All right. Let me see what we have here.
So far, this place that's filled with ruins, we haven't encountered any ruins that aren't because somebody isn't living there. Just saying, it seems awful occupied around here.
The forest is getting crowded. You're going to have to move on.
Get off my lawn, you kids.
Too much civilization going on. All the abandoned places are unabandoned.
Yeah, all the abandoned places have people living there. God damn it. What's happened to this forest?
It's constant. Once the blood mist was lifted, it was quick, maybe is that what I say? And what's interesting is like the way the game, the way that the game presented itself is that it seems like there's still like a lot of unexplored area, but the way I've rolled is it has been very filled.
You say that, but everywhere, every unexplored area that we've gone to
the
has
forest
had people
is getting
in it.
gentrified. The rents are going to start going up soon, Brent.
There's a lot of urban renewal going on around here is all that seems to be happening.
And it's not to say that this is always the case. It's just I'm letting the dice speak for how the game is going. And apparently you guys are like, lay it on the gold rush, I guess. I don't know.
We're so far, really what we've tried to do is break into a bunch of people's houses. This is what we've wandered to a place. We've looked at it and said, I don't know, somebody lives there. And then we said, do we want to go inside this place where somebody's living?
Well, potentially living.
Do we want to burglar? No, not potentially living. We know people have been in each place.
Situation.
We no.
They might
We've
just be
known from the
camping.
signs. I mean, do you stand outside a modern day house, Jeff, and go, I don't know if anybody's in there. I guess I'm going to go in and look around.
Let's try the door, see if it's unlocked.
I'm just saying, if you put this in a modern setting,
it becomes a little different.
Oh god. That's funny.
Oh my god, there's a crackhead living in this cave. That's how people get shot in the modern world. Or stabbed with a glass bottle. I just had inspiration for an Unknown Enemies game, though. Thank you.
You're welcome, I guess. All right. So 1 second while I figure this out. Please hold. It's hard to know what to do with some of these because it's like, do you like, because as you said, everything's kind of feels a little bit occupied right now. So
that's a bit.
Do you just kill people and make it less occupied?
Yeah, is that like?
Well, that was not my goal, but
well, no, because fighting is bad. Like we'll die probably if we fight. So we have to have a. Grum thinks we need to have a significant advantage, and before we get in a fight. Okay. So basically, what I'm saying is, unless we wait outside for them to open the door and ambush them when they come out the side, I really don't want to fight them. Hey, is anybody home?
I'm not necessarily trying to fight them.
And then they come out, and then I shoot them while you distract them. And then we're the bad guys.
Since you guys are the bad guys, I do like that you would be then the bad guys. That is pretty funny to me. Okay, so you basically you just knock, right? You just like, hey, we are travelers through the woods.
No, we stand a ways away and we kind of hide in the bushes and yell.
Okay.
We don't like go up to the door and knock, just in case they decide to ambush us.
Okay.
Because there might be people that don't want other people coming to their cave. Like me,
sure, that's possible.
Here. Like me, if I lived here, I wouldn't want you to come to my cave.
Okay. So basically,
I would have the no trespassing sign set up in front of my cave.
So what seems to happen is as soon as you like announce your presence and everything like that, it doesn't take long before there's actually two orcs that kind of come out warily, cautious, and one has themselves kind of a short bow. Its arrow has knocked, but it's obviously it's kind of
well, so was mine. So
not ready, but it's ready.
Oh, mine's ready.
Whereas there's another orc that's larger than this one with the bow, that kind of brandishes a hand axe, and he seems to be kind of like positioning himself in front of the other orc. He's like kind of like, you can tell that he's sizing you up, and orcs, they speak, because of their lower tusks and everything like that, make it hard for them to have good speech. He kind of like mumbles out like what would be kind of a like, what are you doing on my lawn? But if you but you can kind of sort of understand that he's speaking in a common human tongue, that he's kind of like wondering what you're doing here. Why do you disturb them in the forest?
No, we live in the forest too. We're just out exploring, and we came in to explore the cave and noticed that someone was possibly living here. We thought we'd say hi.
We were going to break into your house, but we see that you're still housing here.
Well, we're certainly not going to check it out if they're here. That's fine.
So he kind of like looks at he doesn't understand your sarcasm and humor. No,
I don't say that. I let Jeff handle this because he's probably better at this than me. I don't like people.
Okay.
So Jeff just says we're just exploring.
Yeah, we're just exploring.
Yeah.
And we're a hunter and a druid. Love the forest. Thought we'd get to know some of our neighbors. Apparently.
Love the forest.
Love the forest.
Now it's awkward.
Forest is great, man.
We're all hippies here.
Well, you can tell he doesn't seem like the he doesn't go like, oh, well, in that case, let's go ahead and break bread. Basically, he just kind of looks at you quizzically because and
and now we've met, and if we meet again, we're friends.
I mentioned we'll tell others that somebody's living here, so no one else comes to the cave exploring. That's what I say, because he should be aware that people are exploring the now that the blood mist is gone. He should be aware that people are exploring notable locations.
Yeah, and basically, like, he kind of looks surprised that you have such a cordial, like, offer of.
I do say you should put up a sign, though.
Like Shrek?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Keep
no
out.
Trespassing. Keep out.
Okay.
That just feels like
a human face with
the Russ brothers will show up and ask if they heard the good news about.
You can tell he grips his hand axe a little bit more when you start mentioning kind of off the cuff, even a little bit about the Rush brothers and everything like that.
Oh, do you say that out loud? Because
I don't say that out loud.
Oh. Yeah, we don't talk about the
Rush brothers. We're trying to de-escalate. We're not talking about potential.
I tell him we'll let him know that this is occupied, so no one else explores this place.
Oh yeah, if we see him, we'll tell him not to come here.
Yeah, and just take care.
Okay. He kind of looks a little questioningly, but he goes, allies in the forest? Probably not too bad. He kind of looking you up. He thinks you look less harmless, or at least you don't look as dangerous as maybe your characters are. Because are you guys dangerous? Do you give off a dangerous demeanor at all?
I don't think we give off a particularly dangerous demeanor, but I don't know that we give off I don't think we have a kick me sign on our backs.
Do we look like yokels? We do look like experienced woodsmen.
Yeah, I think we both look like we live in the woods. I do have my
bow and furs, so I look like I can defend myself, but we don't look incompetent. I don't think.
If you need anything, and you find us, my name's Quirkus. You give your name.
Yeah, I tell him I'm Grum, and I tell him we do come by here once in a while when we hunt the forest, so if we can help or they need anything.
Yeah, so he kind of looks and he kind of comes close, and because of their ability to speak is impaired by their tusks, you can tell that he comes up and he kind of grunts something at you. And he puts out kind of a hand in greeting, and you think that he says his name is Horut.
Horut?
I don't take his hand. I just
I'll shake his hand.
I let you shake his hand, but I don't take his hand. I just nod to him.
And then he puts you in a rear naked choke and starts rubbing your head. No. Just kidding.
He's mastered the noogie. You take 27 damage.
Well, I'll die in his arms.
It's a yoga noogie.
I don't know why I just said that, but okay. And so the other one says their name is Grok. And they say, well, and you can't tell if he's kind of like calculating here. He kind of but just basically says, well, come meet our elder. If you say you're friends and he thinks that you're being truthful, which it doesn't seem like you're carrying any kind of.
No, I put my arrow away and sling my bow and yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And if they drug us and eat us in the cave, I guess we made a miscalculation.
Yes.
Which would be pretty funny if that was
is this a Skyrim encounter? They're just going to attack us?
So taking you guys in, you pretty much find that that going in, it seems like they've made this into a livable place.
We
you know,
are
you can
exploring their home.
there's basically you kind of enter into a lower rectangular chamber. The ceilings tend to be about 5 feet tall. So, Quirkus, how tall are you?
I probably have to stoop a little bit.
Mhm.
It's not, I mean, probably not
I don't,
horribly,
because I'm a goblin.
but yes, the yeah, Grum probably doesn't have to.
And you basically hear Harut kind of like grunt some things that echo through the passageways, and you hear some kind of like a call and respond as you're kind of led in. The As he takes you through the place, it is kind of a weird cave. That the one thing that you notice, and this is something probably that you notice first, Grum, is as you enter, what's strange is that like there's no echo or anything. Like it's something much greater than the moss would be able to dampen, but it feels like the sound that you would normally hear as you're walking. There's just nothing. It's like your foot is just deadfall, no extra noise than the simple
But
noise that it
I mean, if
makes.
there's furniture and stuff in here, it wouldn't make an echo.
Mhm. Well, this is just a main entrance stair. Like there's like you would expect, your shoes and stuff to make noise on the stone, but it just doesn't.
Odd.
Yeah, you notice that it's a fairly small system of rooms that have been dug out, or maybe you think that it's a combination of that this warren was existing before and just kind of how it was shaped in the natural earth, but then they worked hard to kind of make it into their own. And they ultimately take you to kind of like um, what would be like a main living space. And there you see kind of an older orc um, that is with a much younger, kind of almost, I would say, young adult orc. That
So
and the
there's
old
4 of them.
There's 4 of them that are here, yeah. And the elder kind of introduces themselves as Viroth, and they point to Rek, the small one, and kind of share the name. They since you're being hospitable and don't seem to be like wild crazy people, they do offer you food and to basically hear of your travels and hear of the land. For them, they would love to hear your stories.
So we do break bread, and
Yeah.
I tell them a little bit about the things I've done in the woods. I make up some stories. And then I do ask them about the keep, what they know about the keep not far away.
Do you mean Weatherstone?
No, not
I mean the
Weatherstone.
keep.
Well, yeah, the keep we were just at yesterday,
Okay. The keep that they were
2
just
days
at.
ago.
Yeah,
Uh,
the Rust Brothers keep.
We
What
would probably ask
assume
about
was Rust Brothers
Weatherstone
keep.
too, but
But
the Rust Brothers.
I don't say anything about the Rust Brothers. I just ask them what they know about the keep.
Okay. So basically, it looks like the the one that was the having short bow. They mentioned that they're the one that kind of ranges, and they describe how they go about the woods, similar to how you do. Very much scouting the woods and everything like that. They had been by the keep, but what they had actually found is that they hadn't seen any humans or anything like that in the area, so they don't substantiate reports of the Rush brothers. However, they do say that there's an old.
I asked him if he saw the icon that was pinned to the tree.
They did, yeah, but they
Oh, okay.
they were creeped out enough by it that they just kind of left it alone.
Just like we did.
And but they do mention that there is an old giant. They don't know how old the giant is, but the giant goes around and fancies himself as warden of the Eastern Fangwoods. They've always stayed away from the giant, but the giant doesn't really go too deep into the woods, tends to stay in the plains area much more, so it's been fairly easy for him. But the giant to them is incredibly dangerous, so they really don't do anything near the keep very often, other than they know of its existence, know that the giant is there. but they've avoided all contact. They haven't tried to say hi and make friends or anything.
But they did the same thing we did because it would be dumb to try and to almost get in a fight with a giant, I would assume.
The giants are very dangerous in this game. Yeah, they're pretty scary.
They would kill, murder, death, kill us, I assume.
Then we would ask about. Sorry, if they're done filling us in on the giant and the keep, then I would probably ask about Weatherstone. We've heard rumors that it's there and ready to be explored.
So the elder is the one that mentions that they don't know much about Weatherstone. It's a little farther away than what what they typically range. They repeat a little bit of the legend that you already know, that the reason why they don't really feel the need to go down there is because first of all, the idea is that there was a king that was doing terrible experiments, turned into undead, and then the curse is the legend is that they're that even though they were going to take over the Ravenlands and everything like that, they their undead army fell apart effectively.
Oh, so
right?
Weatherstone, where we're going, isn't an occupied town. It's the
Hollows is the town. Weatherstone is a keep that was
the name sounds backwards, but okay.
So, yeah, sorry. I know.
No, you're fine. It's just funny that the town's called the Hollows, grim, dark Hollows, whereas the place that people are talking about undead living is it's called Weatherstone. It's called Safe Place. Go there.
Exactly.
They tell, but the elder, between the elder and the scout, they at least know of it, just kind of at the edge of their ranging. The stronghold itself was built on the northern side of a mountain pass. It's got like a moat and everything like that, and the landscape around it is fairly barren. It seems as though whatever happened there had kind of maybe deadened the land is what they could say. They do mention that that one of the other things that kind of kept them away is that even though it's kind of a quiet old fort, the stronghold or whatever it is, there were strange animal sounds like they had never heard, and of course there are bones from horses, humans, and everything like that strewn up to the stronghold, giving it a fairly they didn't feel brave enough to
that's
really...
Weatherstone, not the stronghold that we were at, right?
No, that's that's Weatherstone, the place down in the south.
Okay, because it sounded like you were describing the other place we already visited.
No. The other place you already visited was just a ruddy red stone, moss, broken down walls.
No, because you said there were bodies leading up into the place in that too. So
I did. Oh no, there were carcasses. More, yeah. So I guess, but these ones, this implies that they've been there probably longer than fresh kill, whereas the other ones seem more like fresh kill kind of thing.
Okay.
Sorry, I did make those really close together.
I was just making sure we were talking about the right place.
Yep. Nope. That's fair. So, but because of those things, they didn't tend to get too close. But the elder does, fancy that, there, who knows what kind of things could be inside there, whether it be dangerous or whether there be treasures. They're leading more of a simple life here than looking for those things.
Okay. Well, we share our stories and thank them for their time and their hospitality, and that if they ever need anything or in our area of the woods,
or if we swing by, we'll, possibly have trade or food or something, and then
okay,
to repay them. If we ever come back, we'll bring something.
They're okay with the option of trade. They do ask that while they're and from your guys' perspective, since they're not they don't seem to be part of a clan or anything like that. This smaller group of orcs is probably trying to just keep low key.
Oh, yeah, we'll tell them.
Especially with the way that they're behaving. They're not behaving as like raiders or bandits or anything like that. They're just existing.
Yeah, but it's more dangerous. People like I'm not going to tell people live here. I'm going to tell them it's occupied. I'll tell them somebody's a bear or something to try and keep people away. But they'll need supplies once in a while. So if I can bring supplies by, or we can bring supplies by, we
Sure.
will.
Yeah,
We could
we'll be discreet.
Yeah. Well, and and so the as a parting gift, the youngest orc kind of gives you this greenish stone. They say it comes from the back of the cave, and just wishes you good luck. And because
I give him my prized rabbit pelt.
Oh, nice.
Because we have a rabbit pelt on. Because I have a rabbit pelt on me from earlier.
Perfect. So you've just completed your first trade.
There you go. I traded a rock for a rabbit pelt.
It's a nice rock.
I feel profit.
Could be a nice rock.
Okay.
I don't feel like I won that deal, but I feel like we're making trade agreements.
Okay, so hike, explore. So the question would be: is that at this point you've hike and explored? Those are the 2 quarter-day actions that you've done. Are you going to make camp away from their den, or?
Yep,
it'll be somewhere in the Hex, but away from their den.
Correct.
Okay.
And Brent, you'll make camp, and I'm going to try to fix whatever your clothes tore when you had your water gathering mishap.
Correct.
All right. So Brent, go ahead and roll for me to make camp, and Jeff, why don't you roll for me a crafting skill check?
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. I'd rather not.
Okay.
My base is 2, and my skill is 1.
It's interesting that crafting is a strength.
So I failed. So we have a shitty camp. We take a mishap for the camp, unless I want to push
I
it.
did not succeed on the crafting roll. And I don't know if I feel like pushing
since it's camp and we're sleeping, I'll push mine because I'll get it back, whatever it is.
You got 2 successes.
2 successes on the camp. Plus, I get a willpower.
Okay.
Okay.
And I take a wits damage.
Since I'm only rolling 3 dice and 2 of them are 1s, the 1s don't re-roll, or the Bane doesn't re-roll?
The Bane doesn't re-roll.
Banes
so
don't
like,
re-roll.
So skill dice do re-roll even if they're a 1.
And we'll be sleeping, tonight, and you'll get whatever.
All right, I'm going to push it.
Get it back.
Nope, I didn't succeed. Nope. I got a trauma.
You just got hurt.
So I lose a strength.
Yep.
Apparently. So I assume what happened is you must have had a pair of scissors and you attempted to chop off a finger. No, just kidding. I mean, you can describe to me
how... It's a pretty big bore needle to deal with leather and stuff, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I stabbed myself or something, or cut myself, or...
Yeah. So what it says that if the roll fails, the gear bonus is permanently decreased to the current level. If the gear bonus has been decreased to 0 and the repair fails, the item is permanently destroyed. So apparently, Jeff attempting is
permanently destroyed. Which you're going to be cold forever.
So what? He destroyed my fine cloak. Is that what he did?
If that's what you have decided.
Because I mean, it's
clothing.
Like, yeah.
And if it was cold out, you would have to worry a little bit more. Like if we were in the winter, that could be a more problematic issue. But since you're in the summer, I don't feel like that. It's the opportunities for it to be a problem are less.
I'm sorry I apologize for ruining your cloak.
Does Grum feel any attachment to this cloak that Jeff?
I do. I mean, I keep the cloak. I'm disappointed that it's ruined, but I tore it trying to find water originally. So him trying to fix it was fine. I don't feel too bad about it.
I tried.
It happens. It happens when you live in the woods.
Yes,
it does.
I have to get better at crafting.
We have to get better at everything.
Yeah, we're not very good at a lot.
It's true. Okay, so you had so basically do you set yourselves down for the night?
Yeah, then I think we sleep.
Then we sleep.
Oh, we have to roll for food and water.
Do we? Because we ate with them.
Yeah. You would
we're good.
not need to do that. Sorry.
Sweet.
Mechanically, I should call that out.
I forgot
more. Yeah. So mechanically, I should call that out more so, but that's just me.
What do you mean mechanically? You should call that out more.
I should be more clear that you guys had actually been fed in that scenario.
Oh yeah, well I just yeah.
No, I forgot. I heard that.
I mean, we still could have rolled for it. Like maybe we shared with them or something. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, and then we're gonna sleep and see how that goes.
And we're gonna sleep and die.
Sleep and die?
My goblin develops sleep apnea and dies.
That's funny.
Is that a mishap on the sleep chart? Apnea.
Sleep apnea?
Night terrors.
Oh,
sleepwalking.
You sleepwalk into quicksand? No, that's not on
off
there.
Off a cliff.
Okay. So let me read this real quick just to make sure I'm doing something correct.
As opposed to not doing anything correct?
I just want to make sure, Okay. So just some questions that I have. Do you guys, first of all, have a fire in the evening?
I would say yes.
Is that not part of setting up camp?
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I'm just curious if you do.
Is there anything that happens if we have a campfire?
It doesn't really.
I would say normally, I would think that we would.
Mechanically, do we die if we have a campfire? Like, does it add to the chances of something jumping us if we're sleeping?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the night goes by and rather uneventfully. I'll have to look and see if there's weather in this because I don't see any weather related things. So it's like weather just comes when it wants to come, I guess. But yeah, so the next day, tell me what your day looks like.
Where are we on the map?
I have it up right here. Let me share that real quick.
Well, we're in the hex with the cave.
Yeah, so you guys this is what you've kind of done so far.
Well, you put it in the dice roller, right?
Yeah, the dice roller.
Okay, so
we're closer to the river than we are the Weatherstone thing. Although we're about halfway between Weatherstone and the town.
We probably should just travel to Weatherstone. Unless you have a reason to go to the river?
There is an OCD reason for me to have you clear out that.
We're not making a big circle. We're not making a big circle.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying just 2 hikes and you'd have it all. You'd bingo or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I have right now.
Right. We should go south and just
probably just straight south, right?
Yeah, we march and lead in the morning and do those 2 hexes, and then we'll start exploring when we get to Weatherstone.
Okay. All right. So your first one is this: as you're traveling through the woods, you're going to hike. Are you hiking, keeping watch, doing that, leading the way, and all that kind of stuff?
He'll lead the way. I'll keep watch.
Okay. So something does happen as you're traveling through this day. I'm going to need you to actually do the keep watch part of it. Yay, we're going to do it correctly, I think.
Okay.
So I spent the willpower for lead the way again.
Okay. So
I have
perfect.
2 left.
All right. Scout comes into play. Okay. All right. So now the lookout needs to make a scouting roll. Make a straight roll, not an opposed roll.
I assume that's you. You're hiking and looking and watching.
Yeah, you're leading the way, and I don't get anything for scouting, so it's just wits. So 5 dice straight.
It's pretty good though.
Good thing you're smart.
I think observant in this case, maybe. 2 successes.
Okay, perfect. So as you kind of are making your way through the woods, you actually overhear something. Looks like it sounds like, I should say, it sounds like what you're hearing is an argument that's filtering its way through the tree. And you, from this distance, first of all, you can tell that it's kind of a heavy accent. And from what you can hear, it sounds like just mostly one person's voice berating another person, but you can't really tell without getting a little bit closer.
I get Grum's attention and kind of tell him to listen without saying anything. So sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. So basically, ahead of you, you hear that there's some people that are arguing in the woods. As to what they're arguing about, at this distance, you can't make it out. You just know that somebody is berating or yelling at them.
I asked Graham if we should find out what's going on.
I don't need to talk to him. I was nice to my people for the month. But if you want to talk to them, we can.
Well, what if they're bandits? Like I'm not. I think we should try to see if we can figure out.
That's why we should sneak closer to see what they're talking about, unless we want to go around.
Yeah, just close enough to hear.
Okay.
To try to.
So we'll sneak close enough closer to hear what they're arguing about.
All right. So with sneaking, with stealth, you do a group stealth roll, and stealth is agility. So whoever is going to be the.
Do I get to roll it?
My agility's 4.
Well, actually, no. The PC with the lowest skill in stealth rolls.
In stealth, I have 0 points in stealth.
So do I tell him to wait here and I'll go sneak forward and see what they're talking about?
If you wanted to do that, you could. I'm just letting you know that group stealth has a special rule that you're only as good as your.
I tell you to wait here and I'll go forward and check.
Okay. I kind of pull my cloak around me and try to, kind of blend into the, the trees.
That is funny though. Like you guys just.
Well, I mean, I don't have stealth, but I do have a 4 in agility, so it's not like I'd be rolling 0 dice. Holy shit, you got 8?
Yeah, I have a 5 in stealth, 3.
Nice.
I have a 5 in agility, 3 in stealth, but I didn't make any success. So I'm gonna push this. I succeeded.
One success.
Nice. Right. Nice. Well done.
Now this would be an opposed
I don't know
roll.
this because I'm huddled against some trees trying to make myself inconspicuous.
But he probably has 45 dice to notice me, so.
I'd like to point out that you're actually far more capable than you give yourself credit for.
Tell me how many successes you rolled.
Well, I'm gonna roll in front of you. None. I rolled a bane. So basically, I guess you see that you understand that there's a group of people that is arguing in kind of what looks to be a more of a clearing in the distance. They don't really seem to be paying as much attention to their surrounding because whatever the argument is seems to be occupying their attention. So tell me, how does Grum approach this kind of situation? Is it like an information gathering type deal? Is it a stealth assassin
I want to hear
mission?
I want to hear what they're arguing about. That was what we went up there for.
Okay. So as you get close enough to really get an understanding of what's going on, you pretty much see a group of dirty people, humans specifically. They're wearing, there's 2 of them. They're wearing worn clothes. They seem to have simple weapons, attached to themselves. They're dirty and look like they haven't eaten properly for a number of days. They definitely look to be suffering from the hungry condition. One of them is a large man with a black beard, and he's the one that seems to be probably in charge. And, he's kind of like yelling, spitting. He has his hand on a sword as the other guy, a little bit more meekly, just seems to be taking it. And he's you're talking about how they're going to die out here if they can't find some food.
Do I think they're bandits or not?
It's hard to tell. They look hungry. You can tell that they have not eaten properly, and they.
I come
also
back to you and I
found a drink.
suggest they say they're starving. We could offer them food, but they might be bandits. I can't really tell if they're bandits or not. But they're woodsmen of some sort.
Well, I guess if we approach them, they'll either cower because they're afraid we're bandits, or they'll.
How many of them were there?
There were just the two of them.
Oh, you sounded like there was a group. You said there was a group.
Sorry, I meant to.
So they don't outnumber us.
Okay,
No.
well, that's at least that's better.
So
yeah, no,
so
I
they
mean,
don't
if
outnumber
we
us.
can help.
They do have weapons. There's two of them. There's a larger man and a younger man.
Then I guess we go in with the bows, maybe not drawn, but ready.
And hypothetically, the minimum number of the group is 3 people, so I can see why there would be confusion, right? So no, there were just the 2 people.
A pair is not a group.
It's
you
true.
said there's a group of them, and so I assumed there were more than 2.
And that's my mistake.
Yeah, because 2 people arguing is not a group of people arguing.
Sure.
I realize my numerical fancy pantsy misnomer.
I just wanted to make sure.
It's true.
If we're outnumbered, I wouldn't suggest approaching them at all.
Exactly.
Well, because there are 200 of them, Brent.
Exactly.
They're a starving group of a mercenary band. No, it's just the 2 of them.
Okay. Yeah, let's approach and see what happens.
Okay. You approach, and they seem do you approach like, "Hey, travelers in the woods," or how do you do it? And who's speaking?
What's the phrase? Stand and deliver. Is that the one you taught me?
Not me. I teach you not to approach people. I try to go around them.
We come out of the trees with our bows in our hands and say, "Hello, fellow travelers."
Oh, I just was looking up the stand and deliver thing. That's interesting. I didn't know that. The one guy kind of like steps back, as soon as you make yourself known, and kind of puts his hand on his sword, and he's like, "What are you doing here?"
I assume you don't mean the Lou Diamond Phillips movie.
Oh, you're talking about stand and deliver? Yeah, it's not the teacher. I wasn't making the teacher reference. I was making the highwayman reference.
Yeah.
I tell him that everybody within the miles, leagues, kilometers. What is our unit of distance measure?
Hexes.
Everybody within 3 hexes can hear you arguing. You're probably lucky that it was us that came upon you first, and not someone who meant to do you harm.
He looks, and he kind of looks a little bit sheepish, and he's like, "Yeah, you're probably right. We're on this. We're wandering in this confounding wood. We've had no luck trying to find food." And Wit here is, you're right. I'm kind of embarrassed. He's like, "Travelers, my name is Argem. And let's just say we were looking for something in this wood that would maybe change our fortunes, but instead we found the wood as maybe a place more of misfortune. How fare ye?"
Woods can be a dangerous place, but we spend a lot of time here, and we do okay. But I don't know about making your fortunes. It's possible that, it's possible there are all kinds of ruins now that the blood mist is gone.
Yeah,
but we have not found any easy pickings. And we hear tales of a giant roaming around on the eastern edge of the forest. So we're avoiding that, and recommend you do as well.
Well, at this time, the only giant I know of is the giant in my belly telling me to look for food.
I look at Grom and go, should we hunt and forage?
Would it take away mechanically if we shared our food? Would it take away one of our things? Like it would take away one of our things, right?
Correct. You'd
we drop
basically
to a D10.
Yeah, you would drop to a D10 and give them effectively a D6 in this.
Yeah, I throw them some food.
Okay.
So I'll go down to a D10.
He looks at you and he's like, well, between Wit and I, we don't have but a couple coppers to rub together. We can't pay you for this.
We're not asking for money. There's enough dangers in the woods. It's starving to death. If I mean, should we point him towards the town and tell him about approximately how far away it is?
You should point him towards the other place with the undead. No, yeah, we point him towards the town and tell him it's. Is that where they're from? Is the town, or where are they from?
He mentions he's been traveling east, so he's not from the town. He's from farther east, but he got lost in these Fang woods, and so he's not exactly sure where he is at this point.
Yeah, we can tell him roughly where the town is.
Okay.
Well, really, if they could get to the river, they could follow the river to the town, right?
Yeah, if you follow the river north and head and follow along its banks, you'll get to the northerly. You'll get to the town within a couple days.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
That's what we tell them.
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell they don't wait before starting to like hit those resource dice. They chomp chomp chomp. They look like they're pretty hungry and they thank you. So for your hike in here, are you going to continue hiking for another hex day, or are you going to call it quits?
Let's try and get the second one knocked out.
Yeah, we'll get the second one knocked out. No, we go to, or is this the Darkwoods? It costs us to?
Yeah, still two. The one right above Weatherstone is when it transitions back to the regular woods, it looks like.
So yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So basically, he mentions that he's really appreciative of everything that everything you've done for him and the food. And if you guys travel to Weatherstone, he'll look to repay you because he knows by then he'll have started to make that fortune that he's searching for.
I'll spend one to lead again, one willpower to lead.
Yeah,
so I don't have to for it yet.
Well, I wish him well and tell him that they probably really should provision better in town, and maybe they can find some work to earn it. I don't, but I wish him well.
We'll probably see him in the Hollows on a return trip.
Yeah, I give him at least my name. I don't hand out Grum's name very often.
Yeah, I tell him my name.
He now knows everything about you. All right. So the world is, now that I think we have a bit of an understanding of the gameplay and the loop and everything like that. I feel like the gameplay makes more sense now. It feels fairly fluid, right? It doesn't.
I'm getting more used to it. Yeah, no, it's really
Yeah, we don't have as many questions.
It's felt a little rough, but I think we're getting better.
Okay. Well, then I think this is a good place to pause. You've just met Argam. You sent him on his way with a bit of food to fill his belly, and him and his friend Wit.
I was going to say, is he not going to feed his friend? Is it just
yeah?
Him?
Did he just keep all the food? Because
he took a D8 resource dice and Wit gets nothing. No, no.
That's the way you made it sound. I don't know what Wit's going to do for food.
No, yeah, no. We both shared, so there should have been enough food for them to have something.
No. It worked perfectly. In fact, yeah, they both get a D6.
Whether they make it last, that's on them, not
them, and luck. Really, is what it boils down to.
True.
Mm-hmm. So okay. So at this point, we'll go ahead and end in the hex that's one above
Weatherstone. That's where we're at. Okay, that's a good spot.
Mm-hmm. And then hike, encounter during the hike, and then hike, make camp,
and now we need to roll for food and water.
Yeah, if you want to just roll food and water, roll those other things just to kind of get it.
What are we rolling? Just food and water?
Just your make camp and food and water.
Okay, we'll do the make camp first then.
All right, I was fine on food and water.
There's camp, which I did shitty. I'll push it.
Oh.
Yeah, no good camp tonight.
Well, the cliffhanger is going to be what? Well, it's going to be what? Let's find out.
What do we have for food now? 1d10?
1d10 for food and 1d12 for water, I think. Or does it go down to an 8?
If you, it would
we
go.
didn't give him water. We just gave him food.
Yeah. Okay.
So there.
Okay. So as you guys are looking for a place to bunk down for the night, it does seem as though, let's see, not a wyvern. That seems too dangerous.
You sure? You sure that the wyvern would be too dangerous to first level characters?
It has a strength of 14.
It's a sick wyvern.
A strength of 14?
Yeah.
Compared to my strength of 2? Yeah, sounds fair.
I have a strength of 3.
I went there because it recommended I look at page 124, and apparently page 124 was not what I thought it was.
Was just wyverns?
Yeah, just lots of wyverns, but it's in the same ballpark.
Wyverns run wild.
So as you guys are bunking down and everything like that, you find very quickly the telltale signs that that you basically disturbed some sort of animal here, and it seems territorially it's making its presence known. So next time we're going to actually have a combat based on the mishap roll. So what you rolled is savage animal. A wolf, bear, or other wild animal feels threatened and attacks you. So,
no, I'm going to step back and let the bear killer handle it.
Oh, should it be a bear? Should we make Grum earn his name?
I shoot it with arrows.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
And then when I die, you die. So.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to be with the bow, but we'll see. Good luck to both of us. Godspeed.
Do you have marksman? The marksman skill?
I don't remember.
Are you as good as I am with the bow? Probably.
Think.
That'd be funny.
I don't know if I don't have the marksman skill. I don't think.
Oh,
let me
well,
look. Hang on.
You're definitely not as good at the bow as I am then, because I have 8 dice to shoot things. +2 for my bow, +1.
Well, you have 7 dice to make camp. I have a 1 in marksmanship, and my agility is 4.
I have 6 dice to make camp, but because I have a 3 in survival.
Oh, okay. So I have 5. I have 5 dice. Wait, I get a bonus for the short bow of 2, so I have 7.
Yeah, so I have 10 dice for the.
You shoot way better than I do.
Yeah. Plus, I think I think I have sharpshooter. I think is what the other one I took.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
It'll be interesting.
So, kind of keeping with how we were doing Vaesen, 4 hours of gameplay lands you some experience. I think
you should give it to us next time.
I'll give you guys some experience next time.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. And so we'll basically do experience at the end of next session. That sounds fine.
Or the beginning. We can do it at the beginning, but
yeah,
we're going a little long today.
Yeah. So, and spending experience can only be done during the rest, so probably after your mishap with the bear.
Okay.
Or whatever it chose. I don't know.
However that goes. We may not be alive.
After we're mauled by the bear.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm not going to lie. I am slightly sad that we didn't get to explore the keep a little bit more, but I will.
I told you.
that is obviously the risk that you take.
What is the first thing you told us in this game? Your characters aren't heroes. They're doing what they can to survive. Running away is an option, etc., etc.
It's true.
Sounds good to me.
It's true. I'll try not to TPK you to every day. Does that sound fair?
I just think it's going to happen eventually anyways, but sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully it'll be epic. You've at least made it's all
It
about the
won't be
friends
epic
along
because
the way.
we're not epic characters, so it won't be epic.
It'll be competent.
It'll be mauled by a bear in the wilderness.
A baby bear.
Grum, are the tales of your bear killing much exaggerated? Is that what you're implying?
Well, yeah.
Did
you earn it by killing a bear, or is it a family name?
I mean, sure, I've killed a bear before, but that doesn't mean I can kill a bear every time. I mean, I'm competent at shooting things. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that we're gonna win.
That's fair.
Especially if the bear has a drop on you, like
there is backstory, and there is actual combat mechanics.
But we are saying you're in dice rolls and competency. You could have killed a bear. But mechanically, and that's what I think is important. Is that your character could have
to shoot. I have 10 dice to shoot my bow.
Exactly. So you could have killed the bear. It's just in some games like D&D, your backstory may have like you may try to invoke something that's mechanically impossible, like a first level character killing a lich or something. Lich Bane.
Well, you have a much worse chance at hitting things in D&D than this.
Yeah.
D20 is way swingier.
All right. Well, perfect. Well, thank you guys. I think we worked a lot of the kinks out. We're doing more of a hex crawly type game. It's playing kind of exactly how it should. And I will just stare at my keep, the notes I have on it. Like maybe someday we'll come back. We'll revisit it.
You can send the orcs there and do a little solo adventure for yourself.
Maybe. I never know. I haven't given a name that you would have discovered. One day.
One day, maybe.
Yeah. So but what's interesting though is that the game does strongly recommend that you don't like over prepare for it, which is kind of an interesting component to the thing. It's just like, well, before session 2 and later sessions, you prepare a little more, build on what you've established, or spend moments to ponder what might happen, prepare events that directly builds on events of the previous session, and it's like, avoid preparing too much. The risk is that your plans may become too difficult to adapt to the player's actions. 15 to 30 minutes of preparation is plenty most times. I was like,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you have players that, and really embrace their agency to do whatever and go in there, then I think you can, as a GM, you really, as long as they have motivations and goals, which
we really embrace their agency and left.
Exactly. That's why it's good I didn't prepare a bunch.
That's more likely than embrace your agency and go in. Go in is what you want.
Well, if you would have been a party of like 4 really crazy strong fighter types that were thirsting for blood, maybe.
Yeah, if we were different characters in a different game, yes, you're correct.
Maybe one day I'll get to use it. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, that was all for today. If you've made it to the 2-hour mark of the episode, which is or near 2-hour mark, minus some edits probably later, but if you made it to this point in the episode, we really do appreciate it. It is a long episode. We're really trying to understand the nuts and bolts of the game so that by the end of this, we can provide a very fair and honest review. So if you like what you've seen so far, don't be afraid to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can see us play more of Forbidden Lands and other games. And of course, if you want to talk to us, hit us in the comments or, as Jeff will explain, social media.
You can search for @Rollwise on most social media platforms. You can also email us, rollwiseguys@gmail.com.
As always, thank you for joining us, and roll well, roll wise, and be safe out there, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.